I entered the workforce, this was in the year 1999 to the year 2000. It was one of the most challenging times that the world was facing in terms of economic crisis. And, coming from a non-engineering background that I do, it was almost hopeless for somebody like me to actually, achieve all my dreams that I wanted, right? But yet, my generation continued to work harder at the opportunities that we were given. So I know many of my peers went on to study, abroad. They went on to do very many things, but fighting very hard for the success that we are earning today. And then you think about the generation after us, which is today's generation, right? This is a generation that has come into the fruits of labor of all these prior generations. So parents today have been, extra cautious in showering their abundance of love and affection through things and access to opportunities and access to, equipment, technology. I mean, you just name it. Today's generation has an abundance of opportunities. But yet, because all of this has come a little bit easily, I think when you tend to talk to today's youth, you do wish that there would be a greater clarity of purpose. There would be a greater clarity on their goals they want to accomplish in life. There would be a greater clarity on, or focus, if you will, on what they would want to do with their talent. I mean, today's generation is so intelligent. You just have to talk to them to know that they're far more aware of what is going on in the world. They're far more tuned into what could be the future. But yet, when you ask them about themselves and what they want to do, you'll sense a little bit of hesitation or a lack of clarity. And that's normal, because when you're faced with too many choices, it can be a little bit confusing. So that is definitely one area that I think our youth really needs to address. So my challenge one to the youth of today is, do you know what you want? How nice it would be if you knew what you want, because the world is filled with opportunities. You want to be an artist, you could be, an artist sitting right here out of India, but earning repute of the world. Or if you want to, be the world's most renowned scientist, the access to the education that is required to that, or the access to resources that's required to that, is in abundance. But then, do you know what you want? Right? So that's my challenge number one to today's youth. The second context is, again, there is an enormous sense of entitlement. When I say entitlement, what I'm really referring to is our people today think that they have to be given a lot of stuff. Oh, why didn't I get this? I was supposed to get this on time. I was supposed to, receive my pocket money on time. I was supposed to, have this, almost like thinking about it as, I deserve this from a place of entitlement, but not from I deserve this from a place of hard work. Right? And I think therein lies an opportunity for today's youth to say, how much am I willing to actually give in order to receive? The whole startup ecosystem has encouraged very many of our youngsters today to be, inspired enough to lead their own organizations, design products and services that is actually changing the world. Right. And as these inspirational stories hit our youth, I think there is a lot of feeling of, oh, I wish I'd just have somebody invest in what I do. I may need a 1 crore investment because I have this grand idea, without realizing that you need a proof of concept for that idea to be funded. Right. So what is today's youth willing to give in order to receive? If we want to receive joy, we have to give joy. If we want to receive kindness, we have to give kindness. If we want to receive success, we have to make other people successful. But that secret of life is something I wish our youth of today would actually embrace sooner, because they are probably the ones who are very well positioned to be able to lead us into the future. And coming with the sense of entitlement sometimes is the choice in front of our youth today of either being a victim of circumstances or of being an entrepreneur who is open to new possibilities. We read so many reports about India losing, several million jobs during this COVID time, and so many Indians being without jobs, and sometimes it is depressing. It is depressing because young people with their eyes full of dreams about traveling the world and accomplishing all the great things, and then suddenly they're at this brink, wondering, okay, what's going to happen to me next? Am I really going to get a job? What kind of a job am I going to do? And who's going to give me that job? Yeah. So the opportunity over here is how can we flip ourselves within our minds to say, okay, these are the circumstances, so be it. What can I do with the gifts that I already have? I am a talented individual. Every one of our youngsters today is highly talented. But are they tapping into that talent and leveraging that talent for new possibilities? And the last part, and with that I will come to a close of my opening comments, is today the world is truly a global village, which means that, when from where we are here today, what we are experiencing during these COVID times is pretty identical to what somebody else is experiencing during COVID times in another part of the world. So the whole notion of a global village is actually true today. But yet, paradoxically, the risk of a divided world is rising. The world is being divided on race, on religion, on a false sense of superiority of one creed over the other. And all of this is distracting us from what is truly essential, right? And our youth of today have a unique opportunity to look above all of this and to actually help us as a world to truly rally, right? And prioritizing the human race and not prioritizing, one religion over the other, or one, how do I say this, one divisive force over the other. When we know we have to fight for a clean earth, when we know we have to fight for our very existence in the face of all these calamities that is facing us, I think our youth are very well poised to help us rally and prioritize what is it that we as a human race could do. And that is the third challenge I'm facing in front of our youth today. Are you actually ready to prioritize the human race? Are you ready to inspire all of us to come together as one race, the human race, and one world, which is ours? So with that, I wish to thank once again Vice Chancellor Ma'am and the management of Dr. MGR Deemed University for giving me this opportunity to talk on such an important topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mom, for enlightening us and our young minds to look up to the world and to grab the opportunities we get in this pandemic situation. Thanks a lot, Ma'am. And on moving on to the further sessions, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institutes have always been keen in making job creators and socially responsible citizens for the society. Here, we have a promotion video of a university. And here we go.
Karanya ma'am, kindly increase the volume.
We really sorry for the inconvenience. We are having an issue with the sound systems. So kindly excuses. And on moving on to the next session, English literature, isn't it novels, poetry and drama? It is perception, emotion and life, a quote by Ramadas. Here, we have an audio visual of our departments and the courses offered by our department for your coursework. And here we go.
Saranya ma'am, I think we have a problem with the sound. Uh, um, I think you have to give a stereo to your stereo. No, no, no. You have to give stereo to the sound system so that it gets. No, wait, ma'am. I'll try to put it here. Wait. Saranya ma'am.
And Sarina ma'am, while you're playing the video, you have to unmute your audio, ma'am.
Yeah, you have to unmute your audio.
Only then we can hear it, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Doctor Asia.
Is it okay now, ma'am?
Yeah. Is it? It is. It is. It
Absolutely
is.
okay, ma'am.
Educational and Associate Mother One Channel.
Followed by we have our university promotions.
Dr. NGR, Educational and Research Institute University.
Thank you, Saranya ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. And
It's our
now,
pleasure, ma'am. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Now, I call upon Dr. M. Chandrasena Rajeshwaran, ma'am, Dean, Department of English, to deliver welcome address.
Thank you, Gayatri, for calling me into this webinar. I am
Pleasure, ma'am.
immensely pleased to be here on this August online platform to welcome you all to a novel experience of watching the opening and closing ceremony of ACE 21 and ACE 20. As the head of the Department of English of a great university, Dr. NGR Educational and Research Institute, it's my privilege and honor to welcome you to this ceremony and to the webinar thereafter. Before rejoicing, before rejoicing at the start of this our happy gathering, I must thank God the Almighty for this wonderful moment. I thank our founder chairman, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam, our honorable president, engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, the most respectful Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, equally respectful Registrar, Dr. C.B. Palanivelu, and the university management team for supporting the Youth Association of Cultural Excellence even from its day one in 2012. Today's function is what was cancelled in March 2020 in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. The full and relevant details will unfold in the course of this program. I extend a warm welcome to our beloved Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, Swami Mara Medananda from Ramakrishna Mission, and Ms. Danya Rajeeswaran of Century Link Bangalore, who have come to spare their valuable time on this online platform. I welcome Dr. D.B. Jabaraj, Joint Registrar E&S, and Dr. N.S. Subhashi, Dean E&S, who have been our guides in whatever we do in the E&S campus. I welcome the professors and students who are part of this gathering. I wish the event to be a learning platform for every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful welcome address, ma'am. And now I call upon Dr. Mary Thomas Mann, Dean Department English, to introduce Yace Club.
Ma'am, excuse me. We request the participants to stop presenting on the screen. Kindly stop presenting your screen. Switch off your mics. Yes, ma'am. Mary ma'am, kindly switch on your mic, ma'am.
We have our Dean ma'am with us now. So I call upon Dr. N.S. Subhashri ma'am to deliver facilitation address.
Mary ma'am, kindly wait, ma'am. Dean ma'am is giving the felicitation address.
Yes, yes, surely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, good afternoon to one and all present here. So, first of all, I congratulate the department for even at this crisis period to arrange such a program. And really, this is need of the hour now, revitalizing the young minds, because everybody knows, everybody is experiencing the stress, that is that the COVID has created on every individual. Even though we take so many measures to keep ourselves busy through academics or through spirituality or whatever it may be, we have our kids online classes, everything, but still all the minds, not only young minds, all the minds are really stressed. So revitalizing the young minds is really need of the art. And I also due to I could not log in on time because here I'm attending the university. Here there is no Wi-Fi, so I need to connect to my mobile. So at that time, I just heard madam's speech. It was very wonderful, madam. You just told what is the need, what is the expectation and all. It was really nice. So once again, I appreciate the department for taking such an initiative and kindling the interest of the youth. That is the need of the hour now. So as the youngsters are going to be the pillars of the what I can say tomorrow's India, whatever we call the pillars of, to the world or whatever it is. So their utilization and their hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are
Yeah,
audible,
yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Something happened. Yeah, one second. Yeah. So their participation and their utilization is very much important. So in that way, I think the department has done a wonderful job, and I also wish to them that such activities should be continuing. And as I told you, academics have never come down even due to this COVID. It has given, I think, a virtual platform for all of us to connect. So very good initiation and very good program. Thank you for giving this opportunity to me, and congratulations and all the best for all those who are attending this program. Please take the outcome of this program and please implement the outcome. Whoever will be the participants here, please implement the outcome. So we lack as individuals or where we lack is we are just doing things. We are not taking the outcome. We are not implementing the outcome. So implementing the outcome, using it only will give us success. That only will give us a fruitful success. Message and implement it.
So thank you for giving the opportunity and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for always encouraging us, and we'll definitely follow your words, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. And now, I cordially invite Dr. Mary Thomas, ma'am, Dean, Department of English, to give introduction for ACE.
So, like, this is a wonderful time in the English department, and as I said, it's such a warm afternoon, and we welcome our guest of honor who gave us such a wonderful input into the challenges that youth face today in this COVID 19, post COVID 19. It's not yet the post COVID, but during this COVID 19 time. And I thank Swami Mahamedananda for being here with us this afternoon. And all this gathering, I would like to just delve a bit into the history of Yace, because thank you for this opportunity, for giving me this opportunity to delve into the history of Yace. Yace, a festival or a carnival, a sort of carnival, to celebrate the memory of a great sage, Swami Vivekananda. And it had its inception in 2012, the time of Dr. Pushkala Remini and few of us in the department. And 2012 was a wonderful period when all of us worked together to start this organization called Yace. And Yace, the first function of Yace was celebrated in 2013. Yace came into being in such a way. It was like a beautiful festival. And that was the pre-COVID time. And come December, and all roads in the Dr. MGR University would lead to the communication lab in the first floor. That is where we were housed. The English department was housed. First, it began as exclusively for the BTech students. ACE was a program conducted for the BTech students, and then it became extended to the whole university. So, come December, and all the roads of the university would lead to this beautiful English department in the Humanities and Science block of Dr. MGR University. And the Youth Association for Cultural Excellence of the esteemed Dr. MGR University used to be in progression. And a hub of activities seemed all of a sudden to burst like a flash flood in a deep and dark forest. So this was in the midst of engineering and commerce and MBA departments, and we were like a hub of activity, a fresh start. And it was like a flash flood because this sudden cataclysmic sound of students taking the less trodden path. When I say less trodden path, it was always about knowledge accumulation, but here there were students who were showing their prowess in different arenas, their talents, their skills, and a creative jambalaya was in progress. A potpourri of events used to come cascading down like a noisy stream after the monsoon rains. Remembering Arundhati Roy, students seemed to appear out of the woodwork, were like elves. They were so intent, they were so enthusiastic to participate, like elves in a J.K. Rowling's bestseller. They came sailing in with youthful exuberance, starting like a tirade, like birds in a Goa orchard. And this hullabaloo used to fill the department with such a wonderful, refreshing sound. Their minds were filled with the spirit and music of youth, and, and refreshing once again their talents and their prowess. And we had a plethora of activities for them We had dancing and singing and painting and drawing and essay writing competitions and all kinds of creative competitions and students, they were introduced to Wordsworth and Keats, and they were so ecstatic, and and these kind of expressions of talents blew us away. So so it was a display of spectacular English language, of Shakespearean English verse, and a tabula rasa of words stomping forward with those lines, and we had these wonderful Yace programs every year, which was which was a star in our department because we had the department all coming together and working on these activities, and we had this beautiful inauguration program in the department. But now the world has changed, and as the world has changed forever, I think, and during this apocalyptic times, when we have to really reach out to our students, their creative energy, because everyone is so talented and has such a potential, you know, and it will be lovely to see that potential tapped. So in these times when the world has changed, we remember the great sage and his words, rise and awake. And when we think of rise and awake, as our guest of honor said, we sometimes youngsters, you know, they just they are laid back and they have certain entitlements. They do not have a clarity of purpose. So what happens is they are unable to express themselves and they are unable to really tap their potential and talents. So when the world has changed and it is a place which is Machiavellian, and there is a lot of disillusionment with all kinds of race and discriminations and all kinds of delusions. But at the same time, we should remember that the Almighty is in control. He's in control, and the world is a wonderful, beautiful place. He refreshes it every day, and it is a beautiful place, and with beautiful, kind-hearted, and good people, and wonderful students, and wonderful faculty. And so, with this note, I try to I've tried to delve into the history of Yace before COVID-19 and after COVID-19. This is the first program of Yace, and it's so beautifully done by the young staff members of our department, and it is like you know looking at a Hans Christian fairy tale all coming into shape. And what I would like to tell you is that instead of stooping down to mediocrity and making our students to stoop down to mediocrity, we have to be inspired by the sage Swami Vivekananda and rise up and awake to quality and proficiency of communicative skills and knowledge accumulation and the showcase of talents and potential. So, with this thought and with this delving into the history before COVID and present COVID times, I sign off and celebrate joyfully this youthful spirit, which is intermingled always with the beauty of life. Thank you.
Ma'am, am I
Um,
audible?
yeah, you are, and I think Jaya sir has joined us.
All right, ma'am.
Okay.
Is Zaya sir is on the line?
Sir?
I think sir is not on the line.
Okay, then we can go to the video
Can we
part.
move on to the next? Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you. I really thank Dr. Mary Thomas, ma'am, for your valuable introduction for AIDS.
Yeah, I think
On
Sir has joined. Sir has joined. Sir is here.
all right,
You
all
can
right.
call Sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Sir
Yes.
is here.
Now I cordially invite Dr. G.B. Jabbar sir to introduce our ENS campus, that India Educational Research Institute, to give special address.
Sir?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm really happy to be here. And I think last year we couldn't conduct this program because because of the corona virus. And Madam Dr. Sandarshana Madam asked me and discussed about this program, how we should conduct this program, and get the permission from the our President Yace Arun Kumar. I discussed with him, and he told me, please ask them to conduct this program through virtually, and it is not possible to conduct like offline program. So he permitted, and I asked him, Madam wanted to release magazine through President Sir, and the President Sir also, that also he refused. Anyway, Madam is organizing this program. Uh, Actually, this program, if it is conducted through offline, definitely it will be helpful all the participants. Anyway, this is the next moment. All are happy. This is one of the important program for English Department of English. Because of this virtually we are organizing, and moreover the people and the students are not joining much because through virtually the people cannot get understand how we can join this. Anyway, if we are conducting this program offline, definitely a lot of people and the faculty members may join. Anyway, I'm really happy. I wish all the participants, that is our faculty members and the chief guest, and Madam Dr. Mary Madam, Dean of the English Department, and the head of the department, and the various organizers. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. On moving on to the next question, I would like to quote Franklin G. Roosevelt's quotes, and here I quote: "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future." I unquote. And therefore, we, the Department of English, have found Youth Association for Cultural Excellence for the young talents to come alive. Here, we have an audio visual for your present to know more about the Youth Association for Cultural Excellence, which has been chasing the students since 2014.
Saranya ma'am, unmute your mic.
Is it audible now?
Yes, yes, it is.
Thank you so much, Saranya ma'am. It was an amazing audio visual treat for us. And now I call Miss P. Kalpakavarini, Deputy Head, Department of English, to give ACE 19 annual report.
Good afternoon to all. A report on ACE 19. Youth Association for Cultural Excellence, the extended wing of the Department of English, the first year campus at Adayalambattu, is run for the students of all campuses under Dr. NGR Education and Research Institute, upholding the principle Youth, the Promise of Future. In view of its conviction that the youth power has to be channelized for sustained growth of the society and the nation. YES organizes cultural and literary feat every year for the students. The teachers motivate and guide the students to participate in them for their all-round growth. The engineering students of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute University and the students of its associated institutes such as medical, nursing, dental, and catering institutes are the beneficiaries of the program. The various competitions started in the month of January 2019 have attained the culmination with the celebration of National Youth Day on 11th March 2019. The day is very important in the annals of Dr. NGR Educational and Research Institute University because it commemorates the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda every year. Mr. K. Rajaram, Assistant Commissioner of Police, retired, was the chief guest. The day is very important in the annals of Dr. NGR Education Research Institute University because it commemorates the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda every year. Mr. K. Rajaram, Assistant Commissioner of Police, retired, was the chief guest, and Mr. L. Rajkumar was the guest of honor of the occasion. The dignitaries who illuminated the occasion were Honorable President Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, Dr. G. Gopalakrishnan, Provost, Dr. M. K. Batmanabhan, Vice Chancellor, Dr. D.B. Jabarat, Joint Registrar, E&S, Dr. N.S. Subhashri, Dean E&S, Professor R. Pushkala, Dean English, and various other head departments along with their faculty. ACE 19 celebrations started with Tamil Thai Valtu at the University Conference Hall in the first year campus at Adayalambattu at 1:30 p.m. The students danced a welcome dance to the invite the audience in the occasion. The dignitaries on the dais lighted a Kuttuvilakku. Mr. P.G. Vishwapriya, Assistant Professor, Department of English, gave the welcome address. The students sang a theme song. Mrs. P. Sashireka, Assistant Professor, Department of English, introduced the chief guest, Mr. K. Rajaram, to the audience. He was felicitated by Dr. D.B. Jabrag, Joint Registrar, E&S, and Professor Dr. Mary Thomas, praised a celebration chronologically to the audience. Dr. N. Chandrasena Rajeshwaran, the ACE 19 coordinator, gave an account of the competitions held by ACE 19 and the faculty who conducted them. Dr. G. Gopalakrishnan, Provost, delivered the introductory address. Mr. T. Deepa, Assistant Professor, introduced the guest of honor, Mr. L. Rajkumar, the film director of Annaikku J, famed to the August gathering. Dr. P. Udayakala, the HOD, Chemistry, felicitated him. The chief guest, Mr. K. Rajaram, and the guest of honor, Mr. L. Rajkumar, inspired the students with their motivational speeches.
The chief guest released the ACE 19 magazine. Mrs. Shri Natasha and Mr. Narendran Ashwin, student of first BTech, were the compers at the event. Ms. Sai Hariprita and Mr. Aditya, student of first BTech, spoke on the relevance of Swami Vivekananda's ideals to the modern world. The chief guest gave away the prizes to the winners of various competitions held during the ACE 19 celebration. Mrs. Kiran Pratap, the student member of ACE Club, delivered the vote of thanks. The program came to a close with the national anthem. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And
Thanks.
now we have reached the most awaiting moment. Now I call upon Miss R. Indra, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to give lead for online magazine release.
Good evening to everyone present here. Here we have adapted the new normal to bring out Magazine 2020 to digital platform. We have a visual treat for you. Saranya ma'am, let's present our online magazine release for the audience.
Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Faculty of Humanities and Science, Department of English, proudly presents ACE 2020 online magazine release.
Thank you, Saranya ma'am.
And now I call upon Miss K. Priyadasni, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to once again welcome the guest of honor for audience convenience.
Thank you, Gayatri ma'am. Good afternoon, all. We are very grateful. We find immense pleasure in introducing our chief guest, Swami Mahamedananda. And he is a sannyasi of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, a monastic order centered around Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and which was established by Swami Vivekananda in the year 1897. He has been involved in value educational activities for the last 2 decades. Initially, he served in Belur Math, the headquarters of the order, and then for over 9 years, he served in Ramakrishna Mission Vidya Mandira, a fully residential UG to PhD college for men in Howrah, West Bengal. From August 2016, he is serving as the editor of the Vedanta Kesari, a cultural and spiritual monthly English magazine published from Sri Ramakrishna Math, Chennai. We- He is the spiritual mentor of Vivekananda Study Circle, IIT Madras, and conducts a class at the IIT campus every Sunday. Academically, he has a PhD in English literature from the University of Mysore. We are very grateful to you, sir, for accepting our invitation and marking your presence here. I request, sir, to illuminate us with his precious words. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. I hope I'm audible because I won't be able to hear you. If I'm not audible, please put me in the chat. I will let know if I miss that. Am I audible, madam? Can you please put it on the chat?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, thank you. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम्. I'm beginning with a prayer which probably is one of the oldest known to mankind. This is from Rig Veda. The meaning of the prayer goes like this. May this interaction energize us both, may it enlighten us both, invigorate us both, and for all this to happen, may we have a harmonious relationship. This was the prayer our ancestors would pray before any interaction between two groups of people, two individuals, or any interaction between a teacher and a student. Because they said every interaction should energize and nourish and uplift both the participants. So with that prayer, I'll share some thoughts with you. And I thank the Department of English, Dr. Chandrasekhar Rajeshwaran, and the authorities of the university for inviting me to join you on this cultural fest in the name of Swami Vivekananda. I'm happy for both the reasons. And this is the day, probably around this time, September 11th, 1893, Swami Vivekananda delivered his famous short address at the Parliament of Religions in America. He began with those famous immortal words now, sisters and brothers of America. That was the beginning of his fame across America and in India. And he became a public figure after that short talk. That was this very afternoon, 1893. I will make a reference to the second talk he gave on 15th September. That is called The Frog in the Well. He told a story of a frog in the well. Some of you probably are aware of it, but I'll recount it again in brief. There was a frog in the well. It was close to the seashore. One day, a frog from the sea came and somehow happened to fall into this well. Now, this frog in the well was surprised. It never had any visitor. It's like a COVID situation. Then it asked, "Who are you? Where do you come from?" Then the frog from the sea told, "I come from the sea." Now, this frog in the well, who has never stepped out of his well, he couldn't make sense of the word sea. He said, "What is that?" "It's the place where I live." "Oh, is it so? How big is it?" Then the sea frog said, "How do I tell you how big? It is so big." Then the frog in the well leapt from one side to the other and asked, "Is it this big?" Then the sea frog said, "How can you compare your well to my sea?" Then the frog in the well took a big leap from one side to the other side of the well and asked, "Is it this big?" The sea frog said, "Don't be foolish. How can you compare your well to the sea? The sea is so immense. You can't even understand the expanse of the sea. Then the frog in the well told, "No, you are a liar. There cannot be anything bigger than my well. You get out from my well, you are a liar." Somebody makes this point. We all are frogs in the well. Each of us, knowingly or unknowingly, we become frogs in the well. What I know is correct. What I believe is correct. As Dhanya Rajeshwaran Madam was telling, she gave a very good talk. I'll be developing many points which she presented. Somehow that mindset that I know the best, or what I have or what I know is the best, or the other person may be less or false. That mindset is there. I would like to give another interpretation to this. Somebody uses it as a fanatic mindset which says only I am correct, only what I believe is correct. If you extend that, it can also be frog in the well is also a representation of selfishness. I. That is also a frog in the well. It only thinks about myself, maybe extending it to my family. But the center of attention and concern is I. This is the mindset which says, I have a problem. How will I go forward? What is the need for me? This is exactly what Swamiji warned us against. Now, I see the topic revitalizing young minds in this COVID situation. Who or what is a young mind? If we want to define an young mind, we will be using adjectives like an young mind is adaptable, it is flexible, it is energetic, it is full of optimism, dynamic, it is adventurous, and of course, it is very idealistic. Now, unfortunately, some youth they fail to have these qualities, and though they are physically young, in mind they are no longer young. Again, on the other hand, there are people who carry this mindset into their middle age, even into their old age. They are always adaptable, flexible. According to the situation, they will adapt, look for new meaning, new ways to progress, and they hold on to their idealism. Now, this spirit of the mind, which says, I will be young, that we could say comes from our attitude towards life. What is my attitude towards life? That is the point. When Swami Vivekananda was traveling across India as a Parivraja, he met one Raja Ajit Singh, the Raja of a small state called Khetri. This Raja Ajit Singh later became Swami Vivekananda's disciple and very close friend. The first question Raja Ajit Singh asked this wandering Swami, who he heard was speaking in English, a very surprising thing in those days. He asked two fundamental questions. The first question was this: Swamiji, what is life? And back came Swami Vivekananda's reply. Young friends, I ask you to concentrate on this definition. What is life? Swamiji defined life like this: life is the unfoldment and development of a being under circumstances tending to press it down. I find this a fascinating definition of life. Life is the unfoldment and development of a being means Vyakti, Jivi. Life is the unfoldment and development of a being under circumstances tending to press it down. There are three key words here: unfoldment, development, and then circumstances. Unfoldment and development, I will not go into that, it will take me a long time to explain that. Life is a continuous manifestation. Whether we know or not, even in sleep, life is manifesting. Life is a continuous flow. It is a continuous manifestation. How I handle that manifestation, how I maneuver this manifestation, whether it is in my control, that is encapsulated by the word development. Life is the unfoldment and development. Unfoldment is manifestation. Development is where I have control over life. Some people have very little control. Their life manifests as a jungle. It is a jungle, chaos, wild animals, shrubs, and no pathways to anywhere. That becomes their life. Some people choose to control this manifestation and they make a garden of their life. Now, these two aspects, I will not go into that. Circumstances tending to press it down. When will life unfold and manifest? Unfoldment is automatic. Development. Development, Swamiji says, happens under circumstances tending to press it down. That means these circumstances tending to press me down is an essential factor of life. It is only when circumstances press me down, life unfolds, manifests in the best possible way. Now, what are the circumstances tending to press me down? You please notice, Swamiji does not define it with any single word, positive word, negative word. It is just a mere statement of fact. Circumstances tending to press me down. How I look upon these circumstances tending to press me down makes all the difference in the unfoldment and development. Now, these circumstances tending to press me down can be seen in four ways. First, we could call problem. This is a very popular and favorite word for many people. You keep listening to them, they love this word problem. I have a problem, this is a problem, that is a problem. Current has gone, it is a problem. Housemaid has not come, it is a problem. They love the word problem. Circumstances pressing me down, they see upon it as a problem. When we use this word problem, it is not just the word problem that is being spoken of here, it is the attitude behind that. The attitude expresses itself with the choice of a word. So it can be some other word, a synonym of problem. So that attitude is what I am referring to. So when this mind says it is a problem, circumstances pressing me down is a problem, he or she wants to escape from it. I don't want to face this. I wish I close my eyes and pray to God and it will vanish. Or someone will come and clean up this for me. So this mindset will not allow me to manifest and develop my life in my control. It will be controlled by someone else, probably my parents, my elders, you're my friends, or society will control it. I will not have control over my life then. The second attitude, which is encapsulated in the word difficulty. First is problem. Second one is difficulty. Here is this person who turns the same circumstances which this person called problem, this person terms it difficulty. This attitude is a little better than the first one. Because the person who says it is difficult, he doesn't want to escape. He says, give me a little more time, just give me a little help, I will face it, I will solve it. You have given me a very good and very difficult project. I need a little more time, a little help, madam, I will do it. I'm not backing off, I'm not hoping God will solve it for me. I will do it, but I need a little help. So this is the mindset behind that attitude which says these circumstances tending to press me down is difficult. I will overcome it, I will face it. So it's a better mindset than the problem. But there are two other possible attitudes which are reflected in these two words, which with Swami Vivekananda's line of thinking. It can be seen, the circumstances tending to press me down can be seen as a challenge. Any circumstance in my life can be seen as a challenge. It depends on my mindset, my understanding, my approach to life, and my values in life. If I can see those circumstances as a challenge, immediately there is a change in my perception, and the flow of life and the development of life becomes totally different. The same person, if he just changes his attitude, everything, my friends, is in attitude. If he changes his attitude, his perception of life, and sees upon these circumstances pressing him down or pressing her down as a challenge, something miraculous happens. The inner potentials, the inner talent which is latent in each one of us, that is tapped. I don't look outside for any help. I look inside to awaken the power within me. It is always inside me. That was the title in this ebook presentation I saw. If you do not believe in yourself, you cannot believe in God. Somebody says that. You believe in all your gods, but if you don't believe in yourself, nothing is going to happen. That is called Atma Shraddha, having faith in myself. Having faith in myself, yes, I can do something. I may not be the best, but I am not the least. And I can manifest and I can develop my potentials. That Atma Shraddha comes when I take the circumstances as a challenge. And life always has this positive note. It is there to help me to manifest my potentials. But if I look upon those circumstances as a problem or as a difficulty, life smiles at me and goes ahead because I have failed in manifesting myself. So, challenge is the attitude, correct attitude, not the problem, not the difficulty. Challenge. Now, better than challenge, there is another best attitude which Srimati Rajeshwaran also was referring to. It is called contribution. How does it come? It is an opportunity for me to contribute. So the word will be opportunity. Circumstances tending to press me down, I will see it as an opportunity. Opportunity for what? That's the next point. Same circumstances which he saw as problem or difficulty, or this person saw as a challenge, the best manifestation will be possible when we look upon it as an opportunity. This is the mindset that we have to cultivate. It is not that people are born with it. Maybe some people are born, but everyone can cultivate this attitude. Every challenge, I look upon it as an opportunity, never as a problem or difficulty. Whatever may be the circumstances, you're suddenly asked to do a comparing program, you're asked to write something project, you're asked to lead something. Immediately you say, I have never done this, I don't know how to do it, it is so difficult, it's a big problem, you fail. If you say this is a challenge, very good. And if you say this is an opportunity one for me, it is the best attitude. The moment you say this is an opportunity, there is a new dimension opening up for life. What is this challenge and opportunity? It is to explore now in this context of COVID. How will I see this as a challenge? Or how will I see these circumstances as an opportunity? It is an opportunity for me, it is a challenge for me to explore new ways of interpersonal connection, new perceptions of earning and spending. She was mentioning that we used to go shopping and all. Now you stand back because all shops are closed. You ask, is it really worth? Do I need to do it? Because very often we live on autopilot mode. You know, every moment life gives us choices. Every moment there is a choice. Most of us go through life without even seeing those choices because we live on autopilot mode. A person who wants to manifest his best has to keep his eyes and ears open and see this opportunity. Opportunity not to go in front of others, overtake others. Opportunity to grasp those challenges, those opportunities which circumstances are giving me. If I can take that, then the best in me will manifest. Now, if I say the best way I can understand life is to see the deeper layers of life. At your age, I was also in your age, I was also in the English department. I did my PhD in University of Mysore. So I can see the kind of mindset that a youth will have. Very difficult to have that maturity to go deeper into the layers of life. I am fascinated with my dress or her dress or his dress, the bikes and other things, cosmetics. Swamiji says, what is the point in polishing the outside when there is nothing inside? But that maturity usually comes after 30. And there are some fortunate souls, even in their 20s, they become mature and they say, okay, this is all play stuff, kid stuff. Let me go deeper into life. And literature is meant to do that. The students of literature are supposed to be more deeper than any other department. Maybe psychology, but literature is, I think, a step more than psychology. because it gives a vast panorama and some of the best minds, human minds, are studied. The literature, novel or a poem or a drama, it is a miniature life. And we read only classics, the best interpretation of life. So that helps us to go into the deeper layers of life. When we do that, we will see our connection with others, the oneness in universe, and we will learn to share and care. This COVID time is an opportunity. Can I learn? Can I learn to feel for others? Can I learn to share and care? Can I rise above my small, petty concerns and my small, petty fascinations for things of the toys and tinsels of this world? Can I go deeper? The literature student has that challenge in front of him. He or she has to do that because they are being trained to sublimate their emotions, think some very deep thoughts, not just technical thinking or something about economics. It is about life. It is about the questions that we ask. A literature student is trained to ask questions. And I think the best way you can revitalize yourself is to learn to ask the correct questions now. You cannot get answers and revitalize your life. You will have to revitalize your life, and that will be possible when you first adopt a positive attitude towards life, which sees circumstances pressing it down as a challenge and opportunity. And that will be possible again when you learn to ask questions. When I was teaching English in our college, I had this method. After teaching those, I used to take some short stories. I would ask the students to frame questions and I would grade them according to the questions. The deeper your question, more marks you get. I was not wanting them to memorize and give me vomit their answers in my answer sheets. Because how will I know a student has understood a story? I said, from the questions you ask, I know whether you understood anything or not. I'll recount here this thing. 1944, I think, there was this Nobel Prize winner in physics. He was a Jew. Most of these Nobel Prize winners are Jews. He was asked, to whom do you give credit for this Nobel Prize? Normally, we would say my professor, my guide, or my teachers. But this old scientist, he said, the credit goes to my mother. I share this because there are many would-be mothers here. Please note this. He says the credit for my Nobel Prize goes to my mother. Oh, how is that, sir? He says, I grew up in America and my mother was not like other mothers. When the child comes back from school, normally our mothers have these stock questions. Did you eat your lunch? Did you bring back your lunch box? Have you brought your pencil? And did you fight with anyone? Or has the school teacher given you any homework? These are the stock questions every mother asks her child when she returns or he returns from the school. But this scientist's mother had one question, same question every day, and very unusual question. As soon as the boy came home, his nickname is Izzy. She would ask him, Izzy, did you ask a good question today? Izzy, did you ask a good question today? That training to ask a good question every day, right from his primary school, made him a Nobel Prize winning scientist. My friends, education is not stuffing our mind with information. Somebody's famous quote. It is not information stuffed in your brain, running right, undigested all through your life. That is not education. Education is assimilation. One of my favorite definitions. That was the second question the Raja of Khetri asked Swamiji. He asked, after what is life, and Swamiji gave this definition. He asked Swamiji, what is education? Swamiji said, education is nervous association of ideas. It is a deep thought. So somebody says, take up 5 ideas and make them your own. Make them your own means make it practical. It is not just thinking and keeping it there. As she was telling, it is bringing it into practice. Take up 5 ideas and make them your own. You are more learned than a man who has by hearted a whole library. Now that is the challenge. I see the motto of your university in that slide I saw, strive to excel. Now, if you want to revitalize your minds, this is my message for you, which is Swami Vivekananda's message. Develop this attitude where you see these circumstances pressing us all down, not just you and me, whole human society, circumstances are pressing us down. We should look upon this as a challenge and as an opportunity. And this challenge and opportunity is not just for me, it is not challenge for me, it is a challenge for us. There is a difference here. Srimati Dhanya Rajeshwaran, she gave you that very good question. Do you know what you want? Do you know what you want? I will extend that and add two more words. Do you know what you want to contribute? My question would be that for you. Do you know what you want to contribute? It is not about that I claim entitlement. That comes because we have forgotten this fundamental, basic, very fundamental concept of our culture. It is called Yagna Chakra. Yagna Chakra means the whole universe is one and there is a continuous give and take. You have to give to be healthy. Those who think they will only take and not give, they constipate. They constipate intellectually, emotionally, psychically, forget physically. There are other dimensions of human personality and they become miserable. They will go on adding things into their lives, but there is an emptiness and a sorrow inside because they have stopped giving. Life stagnates when you stop giving. Life flows when you give. So I have to first think if I have to grow, if I have to become strong, powerful, if I have to be alive, vibrant, adapting to these new challenges, seeing it as an opportunity, holding on to my idealism, be young in mind, one mantra for it is contribute. Continuously, my friends, please ask yourself, what can I contribute right from my home? What can I contribute at home? What can I contribute to my institution? You are studying in a huge university. What can I contribute? I have paid some fees and I'll take a certificate and go out. That is a pathetic life. That is just a useless paper. And my friends, world is changing now. The job scenario is changing. They are not going to care much for your certificates. There is always now, there is an interview, there are aptitude tests. Keep your mark sheets to yourself, open your mouth. We will know in 10 minutes who are you. Because skills and certificates are not going to take you forward in future. It will be your attitudes reflected in your personality. That is what is going to carry value because they say you come into our team, you will add value with your new perspectives, that dynamic mindset, and then the ability to see opportunities and take them as challenge and have the spirit of adventure. That is, you cannot memorize this, you cannot by heart and learn from someone. It has to be cultivated slowly. It takes some months and years to cultivate this attitude, which says, I am open to life to manifest the best as a contribution. All this will happen with that keyword. What can I contribute? If you ask, if I go on thinking, what can I contribute? What will it do to me? Everything that is best will happen when I think only about contribution. Because all excellence is achieved not to prove myself, but my contribution for the betterment of my group, my university, my society, the whole mankind. This spirit, what can I contribute? If you just hold on to one thing, I think you will have a dynamic identity, and that very one can I contribute. What can I contribute? This is a mantra. You please chant this, you will see your life will be transformed. I will conclude with a quote of my favorite quote of Einstein. We had put this in our college behind the principal's seat in our college there. Einstein says, 100 times a day, mind you, it is 100 times, I am telling you once now. 100 times a day, I remind myself that my inner and outer life depends upon the labors of other men, living and dead. Of course, men and women. I repeat, 100 times a day, I remind myself that my inner and outer life depends upon the labor of other men, living and dead. And there is a second part to that. And that I have to exert myself in order to give back in the same measure as I have received and am still receiving. And that I have to exert myself in order to give back in the same measure as I have received and am still receiving. This is the mindset. You will be great whatever field of work you go into. What can I contribute? What can I contribute? One person in this life who automatically develops this mindset, at least in a small limited relationship, is the mother. The moment that woman becomes a mother, she is transformed. She has only one thought. What can I do for my child? She is not there. She says, my child, my child. What can I do for my child? That's why in our culture we say, Matru Devo Bhava. Let your mother be unto you a God. Because the best in a human being is manifested in that condition where that person, that individual says, what can I do for you? No thought of myself. A mother becomes that. Now that is the ideal for whole mankind. If each of us start thinking, what can I do to make this human society a better place? You don't have to give lectures and write articles. Whatever you are doing in that work, strive to achieve excellence, and that achieving excellence includes so many other factors. Without self discipline, you cannot achieve excellence. You cannot achieve excellence without self discipline. And behind this excellence is the spirit of contribution. Everything is done. It is simple and it is very straightforward. I hope this is a cultural group. You will have music, you will have other things. Please explore reading something about Swami Vivekananda because you have come together in the name of Vivekananda. Some people use Vivekananda for their own purposes. That is their choice. But Vivekananda is universal because what Vivekananda represents is Vedanta. It is universal truths in so many forms, in so many languages across the world, in so many cultures and lands. It is one God, one universe, one life. And Swamiji's message is man making. Manifest the divinity in you and feel for others. In one of his letters, this is a letter he wrote in 1895 from America to the Maharaja of Mysore. He writes, my noble prince, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. Because when I have stopped giving, when I only am taking, I am more dead than alive. It is only when I start giving out, not in exchange for money, not in exchange for some honor, not in exchange for some recognition. I give because there is a joy in giving. And what I give, it is excellent. I strive for excellence in that. And what I give is my contribution. Simultaneously, I earn two things. When you work only for money, you get money, but you don't get other important thing, which is inside, the inner satisfaction, the inner potentials manifesting. That will happen only when you have the mindset of contributing. When we have the mindset of contributing, there are two treasures that we get. One is the outside remuneration, whatever it is. The second is my inner talents are manifesting. You probably are familiar. If not, please look it up. Abraham Maslow, the American psychologist, hierarchy of human life, self-actualization, he calls it. Self-actualization. There is another dimension after that, which he realized very late and he could not write about it. He has just one article, I think, about it. Self transcendence, he says. But what is readily available in the book and internet is only until self actualization. The highest step is self transcendence. What can I do for you? So, with that, I conclude my note of some ideas which I have given you. Please see what do you know what you want to contribute? That is the question. I think I can develop that from what Srimati Dhanya Rajeshwaran gave. What can you give to this department? What can you give to this university? What can you give to society? In that, the best will happen for you also. Thank you very much for inviting me. And I hope when things normalize, we will have a big meet like this. I would be happy to join you. And let me introduce you this magazine because you are also in the cultural this thing. This is Vedanta Kesari. I am currently the editor of this magazine. It is a cultural spiritual magazine started by Swami Vivekananda. I am currently its editor. We are also online. We are on Telegram. Culturally, if someone is interested in reading ideas of Vivekananda, you can subscribe. It is free. It's there on Facebook, Vedanta Kesari, and Telegram channel, Vedanta Kesari. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable lecture for young minds to come up and look up to the world and to grab the opportunities we get. We'll definitely follow Swami Vivekananda sir's words, sir. And I extend my hearty welcome to you, sir. Thanks a lot. And now we are moving on to prize distribution session. And now I call upon Ms. K. Saranya, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to take over the session.
Good afternoon to one and all here. Now we are going to see the ACE 2020 events prize winners. In pencil sketching, winners are K. Archana Sri and R. Snega. In spinning the yarn, winners are Madhumita, Sumitra, Praveen Kumar. In painting competition, winners are Lepakshi, Sophia, Tamarasi. In dance competition, solo, Manigandan, Niveda, Rashid Ahmad. Duet dance, Venkatakrishnan, Akash, Princy and Suchitra, Bhavani and Satya. In group dance, Wesley and T, Murali and T, Rabia and T. In debate competition, winners are Lepakshi, Navarasi, Pratisha, Nikkat, Muhammad Anas, Jennifer, and Kamali. In creative writing, winners are Jennifer, Akash, Pratisha. In poetry and acting, winners are Pratisha, Shobana, Steffi Rose. In puzzle game, winners are Pratisha and T, Divyasri and Sri and T, Rahul and T. In Rangoli competition, winners are Prakash and T, Kavya and T, Sumitra and T. In mime and skit, winners are Gaudaman, Bala and Bala Dinesh. In essay competition, winners are Madhumita, Asif Rashid, Bharat. In solo music competition, winners are Deborah, Sneha, and Praveen. In duet music, winners are Praveen and Kishore, Harshini and Malavika, Sandra and Liza. In instrumental music, winners are Danish, Navin Kumar, and team. In group music, Sunil Kumar and team. First year beauty, first year BTech music competition winners are Vignaya, Darshini, Nandini, Varshini, Sneha. In dance, winners are Varshini, Gokulakannan, Navin Kumar, Abhinisha, Kirtana, Sneha, and Nandini. Thank you so much for all the participants. Congratulations for all the winners.
Congratulations, winners. And to conclude our session, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgiving. It turns routine job into joy and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. So now I call upon Miss R. Indra, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Gayatri. I'm immensely happy to propose the vote of thanks for the opening and closing ceremony of ACE 21 and ACE 20, the Intra-University Annual Youth Fest of Dr. NGR. First and foremost, I thank the Almighty for giving the positive energy to bring out this program in digital platform for young minds. I thank our Honorable President, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar, for providing the opportunity and motivation to conduct this ACE 2020. We place our sincere thanks to respected Registrar Dr. C.D. Parnivel and the events dean Dr. L. Ramesh for his constant guidance to bring out the AS20 with a perfect organization. Next, I would like to thank Joint Registrar A&S Dr. D.P. Jabrad sir for his motivation and guidance. And I thank Dean E&S Dr. N.S. Subishri for her positive vibes and guidance. And I also thank Dr. R. Pushkala, Dean English, for sponsoring cash prizes for ACE essay writing competition. Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am. And I thank our Dean English, Mary Thomas, ma'am, for her guidance in ACE 2020. And we would like to place our sincere thanks to Dr. M. Chandrasena Rajeshwaran, Head Department of English, for giving me myself and Ms. K. Saranya, Assistant Professor, Department of English, a coordinatorship of Age 20 for a learning opportunity. Ma'am, thank you so much for giving us the responsibility and learning opportunity in Age 2020. And we would like to thank Ms. V. Karpagavadigal, Deputy HOD, for constant guidance in bringing out this program successfully. We thank the faculties of the department who worked really hard in ACE events. I would like to mention the names. Ms. V. Bhuvaneshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Ms. T.G. Vishwapriya, Ms. Rebecca Charlotte, Ms. R. Abhinaya, Ms. K. Gayatri, Mr. V. Vasantan, Ms. D. Rama, Ms. K. Priyadarshini, for constant work in ACE Events Magazine 2020 release essay competitions. Thank you so much for your group excellence and teamwork, Department of English. And we would also thank the main campus faculty and phase two campus faculty for their cooperation with us. We want to specially mention the coordinator, Ms. V. Vijaya from main campus and Dr. P. Harshini from phase two campus for extending their support to us. We would like to thank Ms. Yamuna from our department for her technical support throughout this ACE 2020. We would like to thank the participants of ACE events from different campuses and the contribution from the students for the AID magazine. We would we have scheduled this program in March 17, 2020, but unfortunately, we couldn't conduct this program during the pandemic situation. So we have been waiting to get a proper opportunity to bring the program in a digital platform. Rightly, we have brought it in September 11, 2020, the important day where Vivekananda gave his speech, first World Parliament of Religious Speech in Chicago, and we are very happy and arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached. So we have learned a lot from ACE 2020, and the learning process really helped us in imbibing a lot of skills in us. Thank you so much to everyone who helped work and being there to make this program a wonderful, successful program. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. It's indeed our pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let us conclude our session with national anthem.
Saranya ma'am, unmute your mic.
Thank you, Saranya ma'am, and I thank all the participants. Thank you so much.
We thank the resource person, Swami Medananda, Maha Medananda, and Ms. Tanya Rajeshwaran for giving their insightful, resourceful ideas to the young minds. Now we have a feedback link for you in the chat box. You can fill the feedback link and get your online webinar certificate. Uh, our department faculty, K. Priyadarshini ma'am, has posted the feedback link. You can fill in the feedback link and get your online webinar certificate. And if you have any questions to the chief guest and guest of honor, you can. Any questions from audience? Okay, thank you. Gayatri ma'am, I think we can wind up.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you, Swami. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
everybody. You have done it in a wonderful way. I really thank my team and the team members of our department who have made this program immensely successful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Our
madam. Thank you.
pleasure, ma'am.
Namaste.
Our pleasure.
Participants, you can fill in your feedback link and get your certificates.
Yes,
And you
ma'am.
can, the session got over and you can leave the session.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
And you can watch this video. We have recorded the video and it will be posted in our YouTube channel and you can get benefited by watching it. It is in Department of English, Dr. MGR E&RI, the YouTube channel. And we have posted the YouTube link also. You can get benefited through that. And do subscribe our channel for more updates on English literature. Priyadarshini ma'am, feedback link.
Posted in the chat box now.
Okay.